Hey y'all. So I figured as my intro for today's video, I would tell y'all a little bit more about me, about who I am beyond the van and all of the scrappy little art projects. So I'm Jade, and just like the stone, I'm not always polished, okay? But I'm a solid person, and in the right light, I shine when I can. A lot of people have assumed that I'm much younger than I am, okay? And while I appreciate that, I am 42, turning 43 this year, and we can thank the new technology of the flawless skin filters um, for my natural glow right now. I've got two grown kids and four grandsons, all under age 3. So I am a Meemaw. I might not be a spring chicken anymore, but I think I'm in my prime. The fabulous 40s. I was born in 1982. I think that is the last of the best years to grow up in. We played outside until the streetlights came on, and the rule at my house was be home before the front door's locked or find somewhere else to sleep. No joke, that was the rule. I was raised by my grandparents, along with many other foster children, and life growing up was not the softest, okay? Um, but I made it through. We all have struggles in life, and the majority of us find a way to make it through. I ended up running away at like 13, 14. Nobody even came looking, but that's fine. I've been on my own ever since. And I think that all of the struggles that I went through growing up has created the person that I have become today. Flaws, the bugs out here, or they want to be on camera too. Uh, Flaws and all right. I think flaws are just like character, okay? Good character. The same character that we all love in old houses and beat up furniture, okay? We can love our bad spots too. It's just character. Character is good. You wouldn't want us all to be perfect and shiny because that would be a boring world, right? Now, van life, okay? It's not new to me. This is not something I didn't just wake up one morning and say, "Hey, let's try this nomadic life." I've been doing a nomadic life since about 2015, okay? When I was with my ex-husband and my kids were like preteens. I sold the house. Well, we sold the house. We bought a 1988 Class C motorhome and gutted and renovated it, moved the kids, the dogs, everything in the motorhome, and we traveled East Coast to West Coast full time. That was our home. We did that for years. Then the kids grew up. They moved out. Um, I got a divorce, and I just left him everything, and I took the van, I took my clothes, I took my dog, and yeah, I lived in the van for about a year, and now I live in a fifth wheel, and I'm static. I'm not moving around anymore. I do miss that, but yeah, that's life right now for me. Will I live in the van when I get it finished? I'm getting that question a lot. And honestly, I don't like to make concrete commitments that far in advance, okay? I like to live my life day to day. I wake up each day and I do what makes me happy for that day. Did y'all see that? I hope that wasn't bird crap. Anyways, I wake up and I go day to day, day to day, day to day. Um, that's what I do. Okay, the bird crap or whatever that was threw me off. But yeah, there you have it. I don't know. I'd like to. I'd like to live in it again, but I can't say for certain right now that that's what I'm going to do because I don't know. Also, I am not doing this because I have to. All right. I'm not homeless. I'm not on the verge of being homeless. Um, I have a home. All right. So this is not like I need to do this or I'm going to be on the streets. This is just something that I enjoy. Also, I'm not building the van out of scraps because I have to. It's not because I'm dirt poor. I mean, I'm not rich. I'm not even average, but I could budget and buy new materials, over time and build this out correctly. Correctly? What is correctly, anyways? Okay, just do it how you do it. But I'm doing this out of salvaged materials and in my old clunker van because my van and I have history. She's like family, okay? And I like building things out of scrap. I like bringing new life to old forgotten things. It kind of it kind of makes me feel like even when we feel old, worn out and forgotten, we can still matter. We can still shine. We are still worth the effort of coming back. Okay? You're never too broken or too old to start again. All right? So that is my thinking behind building this old van out with scraps. It's like a personal, emotional thing for me. So if you've been watching and wondering, excuse me, who I am, there you have it. All right. I'm a little bit flaky, but I'm working on that. I'm a little rusty, and I'm a whole lot determined. So that's it. That's me. I'm Jade. Welcome to the channel. And yeah, let's get on with the video. Okay, so before we get too far along, I want to take y'all back in time for a minute. This is some old footage I found from about 5 years ago, back when I first got my van. Now, fair warning, it ain't the best quality. I filmed it on whatever old Walmart phone I had at the time. Probably held together with some duct tape, because that's just how it be sometimes. But this is where it all started. She really wasn't much to look at back then. Just an old van sitting in somebody's backyard, forgotten and rotting away. Parked so long, she just about grew into the earth around her. But I saw something special. I saw a second chance, a blank canvas, a place to rebuild. Not just a van, but a piece of myself too. You'll see me walking around here, peeking inside, and then starting to gut her out. I'm wiping the slate clean. It's a little rough, but hey, so was I back then. Every new chapter's got to start somewhere, right? So, here is ours. Okay, so let's paint the van. You're going to need some really good painter's tape. I like frog tape. And a roll of this brown craft paper. And some spray paint. And that's really all you need. The main thing is you want to tape and paper everything. Now, I probably should have sanded this, okay? But I'm a little bit lazy and a little bit impatient, and I was ready to see the final results. So I just painted it without sanding. And here you can see the divots where, there was some paint missing and I didn't sand it, but it looks fine. I'm fine with it. And so, yeah, sand yours if you want to. I didn't want to take that extra step, but don't be lazy on the taping. All right, tape and paper off everything, because overspray is like a sneaky little minion, and it will go in places you wouldn't even imagine. Like, don't park next to a house or next to anything that you don't want paint on, because the wind will blow the overspray onto everything. Okay, so just be careful of that. And since I'm doing multiple colors, I had to do a lot of extra taping and papering and dry time. But look at her. She's looking great. The lines are super crisp, and I'm just so excited at how she's turning out. And like I said, tape and paper, that's the hardest part of this. This emblem here, you probably could have used the heat gun and popped it off. I was scared I was going to break it, so I just spent like an hour literally trying to tape this little emblem up so that I didn't paint it. Then I just used my Cricut vinyl machine, designed some decals, and added them in places around the van. Um, yeah. Uh, dry time. Dry time is very important. Uh, like I did mine in different colors, so I had to let each color dry for at least a full 24 hours before I could paint another color because I couldn't tape over the wet paint to add the other color. You see my problem there? So dry time was a lot, but in the end, I think it was worth it. Now for decals, you see my front hood decal went perfectly. I let it dry. This decal on my gas tank, I got a little impatient and didn't let it dry long enough, so the it pulled some paint off. Now here's the colors I used. I used a textured black, the Mambo pink, satin sea glass, and then just some gloss white. And I used about 4 cans of the pink, 3 or 4 of the blue or sea glass, whatever, 2 black, and probably about 4 of the white. And that's it. This little tool is super handy. It will save your finger because it's a lot of pressing down on the paint can. So this is just, it's easier, trust me. And I'm demonstrating here how you want to do swooping motions as you're painting and light layers so you don't get any drips. And that's it. That's how I painted the van. Super easy and cheap. Okay, now we're back in present time, and the van started driving a little funky, like wobbling in the front. Felt like it was trying to either fling a tire off or fling me off the road. I had it jacked up and looked at, and it seems I need an idler arm, which is only like 2 bolts to take off, and the parts are like $100. Because if you replace one, you need to replace both of them. Hopefully, that's all it is. If you're a mechanic and you're watching this video, if you see something else that is wrong, please let me know. I would greatly appreciate it. But I will be making a future video on replacing this part successfully, I hope. Let's talk about some ways that I find free scrap wood. Have you ever been driving down the road and see an old box spring sitting at the curb? Well, all of this huge stack of wood came from the box spring. Okay, so I just loaded the box spring in my van, brought it home, disassembled it, and a bonus for me, it's full of the vintage springs that us crafters like to craft with. If you don't know yet, I am also a crafter. I run a craft channel, and so that was like awesome. It was an awesome find, double whammy. But I do have to use the danger blade here, and I have to remove all of the nails and staples, but it's not too hard for small things like this. All right, now let me show y'all my latest treasure. A desk I snagged from the thrift store for just $20. $20. It's almost like it was made for this spot in the van. I was fixing to build a setup just like this anyway, but finding this little gem saved me the wood, the time, and let's be honest, probably a few choice words and a headache. Plus, let's be real. I am not fancy enough to build something with drawers. Drawers are like wizardry to me. This desk already has them, and I'm not about to argue with that kind of a blessing. Now, when I posted this find on the community tab, some people had concerns about the weight, and I appreciate y'all looking out for me. But most of this desk is thin plywood. The only real heavy part is the top, and don't worry, this ain't my first rodeo. I know all about my weight limits, uh, my GVWR, my axle ratings, probably better than I know my own blood type, which is, I don't know, it's O something. I never know if it's O negative or positive, but it's the one where I can donate to everybody. So if you ever need some help, just give me a holler. Anyways, we'll be making a few little tweaks to it so it fits my needs just right, and it's going to be perfect, and I'm excited to give this desk a new life. I really want some type of wall here. I didn't have a wall here in the first build of this van, and now that I'm using this desk, I don't really have much space here for a thick wall. So I'm just going to kind of frame up this scrap piece of plywood here and make it a little wall. I mean, it doesn't have to be too strong. I'm not going to be throwing punches through it or anything. Um, but yeah, and this actually this piece of wood here came from a scrap pallet that I found. So that's why it's got the little metal bracket thingies on top, but that works out. I'm going to use that to help anchor it to the ceiling. So, win-win. Okay, so I have a lot of scrap laminate floorboards and not enough of any one color to do the whole floor in the same. So I'm just going to mix and match them because let me explain what I'm trying to do here. We are basically building this van into one big armature, okay? Nothing you see me building here is going to stay the same. Everything, the walls, the ceiling, the floor, will all have some type of art over top of it. So the floors, you won't know they're different colors. You won't know. It's going to be covered, okay? And now I'm just going to start cleaning up the top of this desk table. And I could sand this all the way down to the raw wood like that, but when I redo old furniture, I like to leave some of the history showing through. I don't know, it's personal preference, I guess, but I like to see where it's been and where it's come from. So I left some of the dark spots of the stain so that they'll peek through when I add my color of stain. And I have a lot of stain that I get from the thrift stores, okay? Every time I see stain or paint, I just buy it up. And so I've got a lot of different colors here, and I've put little test splotches on some scrap wood to try and figure out the color I want. I'm going to start with this Puritan Pine here because I really wanted like an earthy brown color, but I ended up having to layer some colors because no matter what stain I put on this wood, it just went back red. I don't understand why. I'm pretty sure it's pine wood, but it just stayed red. So the base was the Puritan Pine, and I just used two of the other ones that were dark, and I just layered it until I got a color that I felt I could live with. That is just one of the downsides of trying to use scrap and salvaged and thrifted materials. You might not always have the material that you envisioned in your head. Now I could have went to Lowe's and bought some more that I really wanted, but why let these stains go to waste? So I just played around with it and mixed some colors, and in the end I am happy with the color that I chose. Well, not that I chose, that I created, I guess. And here's what it's looking like with just a Puritan Pine. And now it might not look like it on camera here, but it was very red in person. It had a very, it just, it after it dried, it really looked like it looked before I sanded it. And that's why I kept going with mixing the stains. So enough of that, enough of that. Now we're going to start painting the front, okay? I'm going to use this green paint, also from the thrift store. Lucky me finding a beautiful mossy green. I'm going to add a few layers of paint on here, and you can't really tell it on video, but it's been raining off and on here for the last few days, And so the weather is not perfect for painting. It is taking a long time for each layer of this paint to dry. So I decided that I can't be here, okay, because I keep touching it. I'm a toucher. I keep going up and touching it, and it's not dry, and I'm putting fingerprints in it. So I'm going to just add one more layer to it, and then I'm going to go thrift shopping. That way it can sit here and it can dry in peace, and I won't fudge it up. And I thought it might be nice to take y'all along with me. This is probably my favorite thrift store, okay? It's literally out in the country on a farm, and the main area is, well, it's what I call the main area. It's a barn outside, and it's full of all kind of cool stuff, really cool stuff. I'm just going to give you a quick view of how it looks out here. They do have a main building that has more things like clothes and whatnot, but I like the barn area. It's where all of the cool stuff is. I have a thing for boxes, all right? Really anything made out of wood, because I like wood accents, and if I find boxes that are already boxes, I don't have to build the box. So they had two of these old shoe kits here. I'm definitely gonna buy this one, especially when I picked it up and I saw it had little baby legs. So that is coming home with me. Now they had some really cool ornate trays here. They weren't made of wood. If this one had been made of wood, I would have bought that. But it's, I don't know, it's that fake crap they make stuff out of nowadays. They have a lot of wooden furniture here, beds, lots of spindles, electronics, lamps. I like to buy furniture and chop it up and use the wood in different ways. Um, I saw this frame here. It looks like a window, but it's really like a picture frame. I'm taking this home because I have an idea of where I'm going to use it. Now, I thought this was pretty cool. It's only $2. Maybe it used to organize cassette tapes or DVDs. I'm not sure, but I am sure that I can use this as some pretty storage in the van. So this will also come home with me. And darn, I'm just now remembering, I forgot to ask about these. uh, These are just two drawers. They didn't have furniture with them or anything. It was just two drawers, and I thought to myself, I could use those. I could put some wheels on them and add them under my bed as storage. And I forgot to ask them when I went inside. Gosh darn it. I'm going to have to go back now. So I saw this. It's very pretty. It's like a candle holder lantern, and I don't really like the stars around the top, but that's fine. I like everything else, so I bought that. These two lady pictures, I like them. They kind of look like forest fairies. They have little branches around them. This is a cutting board. I brought it home because I wanted to refinish it. And then I also found these little fork and little spoon. They are made of wood and have cute little carvings in them, so I bought them. And then this basket, I was thinking about using it as a dirty laundry hamper. So in the van, I can take it to the laundromat with my clothes. But yeah, now look at it. A frame. It's the perfect size for a door here. The only problem is I don't know if it's going to swing out too wide. So when I get this table back where it goes, I need to test that theory. Otherwise, I might need to have a double door down there. But look how perfect. My eye was perfect. It fits perfectly. I'm happy about that. Now here the paint is dry. The stain is dry. I've stained all the drawer fronts and the top. And I think it looks really nice together. The color I ended up with that mossy green. I have one more thing for this desk, but I had to order it. It's rub-on transfers for the front, and it's very pretty, and they should be here Monday. So that will be in next week's video. And I am just starting to kind of block in this area over here and get it ready for the next part. Now here's my Green Man cabinet from the previous video. I stained the top of the Green Man in the same way that I stained this top, and I decided to paint the green parts of the Green Man cabinet green, 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 the same mossy green as my desk. So I did repaint that. And this just makes all of my furniture cohesive, and it looks more matchy and like it goes together. And I think it's coming together quite nicely. All right, y'all. So that's about all I got for you this week. I really appreciate that you took the time to spend with me today. And if you enjoyed hanging out, be sure to smash that like button because it really helps my channel out. And make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed the content. I have a lot of great, unique ideas coming up for the van. Right now, it's in like the armature stage. So if you're familiar with like paper mache work or clay work, you have to build an armature first. And the armature doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to be a strong base, okay? Something to build from. So that's what I'm doing here in the van now. I'm building my armature for all of the cool stuff to come. So I do hope that you will stick around. Be sure to leave me a little hey in the comments section. I really enjoy hearing about your projects or really just about how your day is going. I enjoy reading and responding to all of the comments. I really try my best to get to all of them. It is getting a little hard, but I promise that I will always try to keep up. And yeah, so until then, make sure that you stay creative, that you stay happy, and don't be afraid to try something new. You know, do something that is a little bit fearful, and you might just surprise yourself. I truly believe that we are all creative. We're just scared to get started. So, yeah, go do that. And I will see you guys next Sunday at 4 p.m. And I hope you all have a great day and a great week.